Welcome to Journey Through the Gospels. Here we explore the stories of the Gospel through history, faith, and cinematic storytelling. Some of the most powerful moments in the Gospels do not happen in the open fields or on crowded roads. They happen in quiet places, inside homes, where only a few people are present. This story is one of those moments. It is simple, intimate, and deeply human. Jesus is traveling during his ministry, moving from place to place through the villages of Judea. In Luke's Gospel, he enters a village, and a woman named Martha welcomes him into her home. That first action matters. She opens her door to him, receives him with honor, and takes on the responsibility of hosting a respected teacher. In the world of first-century Judea, hospitality was not light work. A guest was not simply offered a seat and a brief greeting. Water had to be brought, food had to be prepared, space had to be arranged. The house itself had to become a place of welcome. So Martha's work would have been visible from the very beginning. She would likely have been moving from one task to another, making sure everything was in order. Her service was real, necessary, and generous. Nothing in the story suggests that she meant to do anything wrong. But Luke tells us that Martha had a sister named Mary, and while Martha worked, Mary took a different place in the room. She sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teaching. That image is the heart of the story. Mary is not standing at a distance. She is not only passing through the room, she is seated near Jesus, quiet and attentive, fully turned toward him. Her body is still, but her heart is active, receiving his words. At first, perhaps, the contrast between the sisters seemed small. One was serving, one was listening, both were near Jesus. But as time passed, the difference became harder to ignore. Martha's labor continued to increase. More tasks had to be finished. More details had to be managed. The pressure of hospitality, which began as a gift, slowly became a burden. Luke says she was distracted with much serving. That word is important. Martha was not simply busy, she was pulled in many directions. Her attention was divided. Her service, though sincere, had become tangled with inward strain. Meanwhile, Mary remained at the Lord's feet. She stayed where the word of Jesus could be heard clearly. She did not rise to join the movement of the house. She remained in the place of listening. At last, Martha speaks. She turns to Jesus and says, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her then to help me." It is a brief sentence, but it carries weariness, disappointment, and frustration. It is the sound of someone who feels alone in her work. There is something very honest about Martha in this moment. She is not pretending that everything is fine. She does not hide the tension she feels. She brings her complaint directly to Jesus, and Jesus answers her with remarkable gentleness. He does not embarrass her. He does not speak harshly. He says, "Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things." By repeating her name, he speaks with tenderness, not rejection. He sees more than her hands and her duties. He sees her heart. He names the deeper problem beneath the busy room and the unfinished tasks. Then he says, "One thing is necessary." In a house full of many demands, Jesus points to what matters most. He brings the whole moment into focus. He does not deny that many things seem urgent, but he reveals that one thing is greater. Then come the words that have echoed through the centuries. Mary has chosen the better portion, and it will not be taken away from her. Jesus does not send Mary back to work. He protects her place at his feet. He confirms that listening to him is not a wasted moment, but a necessary one. This does not mean that serving others is unimportant. Martha's hospitality was meaningful. Homes needed work. Meals were not prepared by themselves. Daily life in the ancient world required effort, discipline, and care. But Jesus shows that even good work can become spiritually dangerous when it fills the heart with anxiety and crowds out attention to his voice. The problem is not the service itself. The problem is being so troubled by many things that the presence of Christ is no longer received with peace. That is why this story remains so close to ordinary life. Many people know what it is to be Martha. They know the pressure of responsibilities, the weight of unfinished work, and the feeling that no one sees how much must still be done. They know what it is to feel pulled apart by many concerns, and many people also know how hard it is to do what Mary did, to sit still, to listen, to give undivided attention to the Lord when everything around them seems urgent. In that sense, Mary's choice is not passive, it is deeply deliberate. John's Gospel later gives another piece of the picture. It names Martha, Mary, and their brother Lazarus, and says that Jesus loved them. That matters because it reminds us that this scene is not a cold rebuke in a stranger's house. It is a loving correction spoken within a beloved household. Jesus loved Martha. He did not reject her service, nor did he despise her care, but he would not let her remain trapped in anxiety, even while doing good things. His words invite her into the same peace that Mary had already begun to receive. So this small household moment becomes a lesson for every generation. There are times when the soul becomes crowded, just as a house can become crowded. There are many duties, many expectations, many good things demanding attention. Yet in the middle of them all, the voice of Christ still calls for a listening heart. The better portion is not laziness, it is not carelessness, it is not abandoning love for others. It is choosing to place the Lord first, before worry, before performance, before the restless need to manage everything at once. In Martha and Mary, the Gospel gives us a mirror. One sister shows the danger of devotion becoming distracted. The other shows the beauty of remaining near enough to hear. Both stand close to Jesus, but only one is still enough in that moment to receive what is most necessary. And perhaps that is why this quiet story has never lost its power. It enters the ordinary rooms of life. It speaks to kitchens, tables, burdens, schedules, and tired hearts. It reminds us that Christ does not only meet people in dramatic miracles, he also meets them in the middle of daily work and calls them back to the one thing necessary. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe for more gospel stories.